Mommy's trying to film. I know. So foreign to that concept. Your head takes up more space than Mommy's. Hey, you know, this is great and all. If you can't tell, I have a clingy dog here who I think really understands English. Yeah, are you a spy? You see a fluffy head pop up. That's just him. Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. That feels so weird to say. Let's just address the elephant in the room, and that's that I've been away for some time. If you're just seeing my channel for the first time, hello, how are you? Welcome. My name is Lana. Welcome to my channel. If you're a returner, hey. It's been a few years. For those that don't know, I did have a channel once upon a time. This is that channel. And the last time I had a channel, it was during a very confusing and also sad time of my life, which I don't think many people knew about. It's kind of what led to my abrupt stop with YouTube. And I was also just busy. I was working a full-time job, starting grad school full-time. And I just noticed my priorities shifting a little bit. I didn't really want to film everything at that point. I didn't want to talk about anything. I was struggling a little bit. And so now here we are, I believe 5 years later. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling like I'm in a really good spot in my life. Why don't we play catch up for a little bit? So just to catch you up to speed, I have a dog. I just turned 27, which is so crazy because I think when I was filming on this channel, I was 22 years old. I was a little baby. I'm a therapist, which I have been for a few years now. It's my dream job, but it is so mentally taxing. But I love what I do. I really do. I live in a beautiful apartment with my girlfriend of 4 years now, which is insane. And because life has settled, I get to do more of what I want now, which is read. Books have always been such a huge constant in my life. I've always been a reader without fail. My mom always used to say that while kids had toys in their crib with them and stuffed animals, that I had books. I'm a huge reader, a lover of books. The only thing that was stopping me from reading as much as I feel like I am now is because truly my life was chaos. I had so many obligations. As a kid, I was just someone that never stopped moving. I was always doing 1,000,001 things. I couldn't sit still. Still kind of true today, but I think I'm a lot more intentional with my slow time and being to myself. I've definitely grown into more of an introvert with age. As simple as that, I just got more time to read. So yes, that's kind of why I left YouTube. Life was heavy, life was dark, there's a lot going on, and I just really didn't have time for it. I honestly was scared of sharing stuff about my life. It was just a lot of insecurities that I was facing. But now I'm back. I've always loved YouTube. I feel like, honestly, since COVID time, Book Talk and BookTube just started like blowing up. It just makes me so happy that more people are either rediscovering or discovering a love for reading. I think there's nothing better. Like, what better of a hobby? Do you know what I mean? You can just escape into so many different worlds and perspectives and stories, and I could go on for days about books. I digress. Because of that kind of almost boom of people coming back to reading or coming into reading, that is where I discovered booktubers that I love and Bookstagram accounts that I love. Honestly, just became fixated on it. You're quite literally combining my two favorite things, which is YouTube and books. Just some special shout outs to YouTube accounts that have honestly really ignited my desire to get on BookTube, if you will, is Destiny Sidwell, Haley Pham, Sarah Carali, Rachel Catherine, Shaughnessy Schroeder, Emmy Rossum, Alexa Ray. I really could go on. I could go on. So many beautiful BookTube girlies that I love to watch really have only inspired me more and more every single video I watch. I hope you guys kind of enjoy this little twist. I'll still vlog and I still love making lifestyle content, but I really do, you know, like where the book community looks like it's going. It just seems like such a safe and happy place. I love long form content. I love editing. I love shooting. I love creating. And I also love reading. I will say, posting schedule is gonna be light. I have quite a busy life. I don't want to set an expectation that I'll be posting every single week, but I will post as often as I can. I want to do TBRs. I want to do monthly wrap-ups. I want to do reading vlogs so bad. I also love bookish vlogs, like going book shopping, going to a coffee shop, like very cozy vlogs, all that sort of stuff. I eat it up. I eat it up. Now let's get into a little bit about me as a reader. I will say, I read just about anything and everything. I will try any type of book. The only thing is I'm not too keen over and will probably stray away from is if a book has too much spice. And what I like to call that is unnecessary spice to me. There are a lot of people that love spice out there, and honestly, more power to you. I just don't know what it is that turns me off of it so bad. I can't explain it, but I will love the slow burn. I will love the progression of a relationship. I'll think, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. They seem so meant to be. This is amazing. And then all of a sudden, there's just smut and no more feelings are talked about. And it's like, oh, okay. I don't know what that says about me. I'm not the biggest spice girl. If it's in excess and does not pertain to the plot at all, and it consists of like 3 whole chapters of it, that might drop my rating. But if it's done right, your girl likes it. And the other thing I'm not too fond over and will probably avoid if I know prior to going into a book is age gap, specifically with minors and teachers. I can't get by it. I'm sorry, y'all. It's weird. It's weird for me. Everyone has their own tastes. I just do not physically feel right reading books like that. And so I'm gonna stray away, personally. As for reading genres, favorite of all time would probably be fantasy. I love fantasy, love mystery thriller, I love horror, literary fiction, romantasy. Guys, I read everything. I love reading biographies, I love reading into people's lives, I love reading mental health self-help books. I could go on and on. But probably fantasy, mystery thriller, horror, those are probably my favorites. Okay, now I kind of wanted to get into the books that I'm currently reading, also my February TBR. I don't like to go crazy with my TBR because I do tend to mood read. After I finish one book, that really helps me determine what I'm in the mood for next. And so I really don't like to set this pressure on myself, but I like to have like 4 or 5 options that are at the forefront, because then if anything, it just motivates me to keep going to my physical TBR shelf. If you couldn't tell by this next to me, this is my TBR shelf. These are the physical books I have that I haven't read. And I know that seems excessive, but trust me, I've seen worse. I've seen worse, okay? So I don't know exactly how many are on here, but it's always my goal every single year to kind of hold back from buying so much and really just focus on my physical TBR. And that is one of my huge goals for 2025. So I'm hoping that you guys can also hold me accountable with that when I'm picking my TBR, and also when I'm book shopping. I'm trying to be smart with money, you guys. I know, boring. Okay, what I think I want to get into now is books that I'm currently reading. First book that I'm currently reading is The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. First off, the cover alone was beautiful and sold me. However, it was when I saw this excerpt at the top by George R.R. Martin. Hello? Game of Thrones? Anybody? Yeah, so I'm gonna support. If he thinks this book is good, I'm gonna listen to what the man has to say. This book, I'm probably about 1/4 of the way through, as you can tell. I'm hoping you can see the tabs. Yeah, I'm eating this up. The writing in this book, if you like lyrical writing and descriptive language, you will love this book. It's definitely a cozier read. There are some high stakes in it, so if you're not one that can do just like a full cozy read with really no plot. There is a plot in here. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a full cozy read, but it is on the cozier side. There's mystery, there's world building, this whole kind of universe that you're learning. And that's kind of the fun about fantasy. This is the first in, I believe, a trilogy about a boy named Ever and a girl named Lavira, I believe is how you say her name. Lavira lives amongst the dust and Ever is trapped in a book chamber. The story spirals around world and time, and of course their 2 stories interconnect. At least from where I'm at, there's been 2 perspectives, and it's Lavira and Ever, and it kind of shows their separate lives and experiences until they inevitably cross paths, which I'll leave you at that. But it is such a beautiful, incredible book so far. And again, I'm not even halfway through and I'm eating this up, so I cannot wait to finish this. Hopefully today. So that's the physical book that I'm reading. As for a Kindle read, there's one thing about me, I'll probably always have a book on Kindle, just so that when I don't have my physical book, if I happen to be without it, if I'm not in a convenient place to be reading and tabbing and annotating, which happens a lot, I always like to have a book on Kindle. That way I can just pick up my phone, read a couple chapters if I'm waiting for food or in between sessions at work, like whatever kind of that looks like for me. I always just kind of like to have something on hand. The Kindle book that I am reading right now is The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. I'm also eating this book up. I think I'm gonna finish this book first because this book is beautiful. I'm really enjoying this book, but I also have been taking my really sweet time with this book intentionally. Not because it's slumping me out, but it's just I really am taking in every single word. And so it's taking me a little bit longer to read this one than it typically would. But this book is kind of right up my alley with thrillers and mystery, and it's so good. Probably about 65% of the way through this book. Incredible. No notes. No notes right now. I'm really enjoying this. Mama's almost done, I swear. I swear, Mommy's almost done. Last but not least, we are gonna get into the 5 books that are on my TBR for February. I also just noticed they kind of have a theme. Do we see that? They all kind of are the same vibe. That's kind of interesting. I didn't do that on purpose, I swear. First up, so excited for this book. This is Frederick Bachman, Beartown. This is a part of a series. I've read Frederick Bachman before. I read Anxious People, and while the execution of the book was not exactly my favorite, his writing, I could tell he's a really good author. That book just probably didn't connect with me, but I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book, so I'm very excited to get into this one. This has been on my physical TBR, you guys, for so long. This is This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins. I've heard some outstanding reviews on it, and it just gave the vibe of winter, and so I was like, what better time to read this right now, you know? I think it's like a second chance, a Groundhog Day situation it looks like, because it says how many chances to meet your perfect match. Very excited to pick this up and get it off my physical TBR because it's been on here for way too long. Next up, everyone and their mom has read this book. This is Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, I think is how you say it. I've of course seen everything and anything about this book. I've heard some mixed reviews, so I'm really excited to see what I think. Some people loved this and couldn't get enough of it. Other people were not too fond of the storyline, but I've heard from the author the premise is very Once Upon a Time meets The Office. So I'm getting like comedic fantasy. Very excited to get into this and kind of see my own opinions of this because there have been some hot takes I've seen of this book. Next up, we have We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver, I think is how you pronounce it. That's how I've seen it online. Apologies if my pronunciation is really bad. This one, my friend Brittany read and she cannot say enough good things about it. Apparently it's very chilling, very horror-esque, and I am such a horror girl. Not many things scare me, and so I'm really excited to see kind of what this does, but I have heard absolutely outstanding things about this book, and I'm very excited to get into this one, especially because it just, I mean, hello, it meets the vibe. It meets the vibe of winter. So I think I need to read this ASAP. And last but not least, we have Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. This is another one that I have nonstop heard raving reviews about. Everyone cannot get enough of this book. And I believe Glow of the Everflame, is that the next book that just recently came out? I'm so excited to get into this one. Also, this is another beautiful cover. These are all the books on my February TBR. I'm so excited to get into hopefully each and every one of these. February is a pretty crazy month, so fingers crossed I can get to these and then some, because there's also a couple books over here that I've just been eyeing for a long time. Well, you guys, that is it for my February TBR, as well as kind of an update on books that I'm reading and a little intro back into this channel. I hope you guys are excited for all of the fun lifestyle and book content to come. I already have a vlog that is about to come out soon after this one. Turn your post notifications on, subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it, because there might be a bookish vlog coming your way soon. I don't know. A little birdie told me. So I don't know, just a tip, because a lot more is to come with this channel. Also, let me know if there's any specific book type of videos that you guys want to see down below, or kind of any videos in general. Anything at all, leave it down in the comments, because I would love your guys' input on kind of what you want to see from me. With that all being said, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Bye.